the other thing we wanted to talk about is the impact social media has on, at least we noticed, on relationships. Like just after we got back from the honeymoon, we happened to roll into a conversation and realized that so I was making the point that I think if I were to take on everything that people said, I would never have been in the position of finding a life partner. And because there's, on an average day when I go on social media, there are at least 10 man hating posts, and posts about how men so worthless, they're cheating, and all these kind of things, and how men only looking for new hoes and all kind of thing, and it can be very discouraging, and more so it can cause, from a female perspective, it can cause a woman to become very mistrustful and jaded, feel like all men are a particular way, and that's not true. All men are not bad. The church is not absent of men. They are around. We just have to open our eyes and put yourself in a place to be found, or open your eyes and see.
I
Go
think
ahead.
adding to the negativity that we see a lot on Facebook, what happened is that I believe that a lot of stalwarts in the faith, in trying to fight against the change that is happening, they see the fall of a lot of traditional norms and values that for good reasons, I guess, that the older folks will have hold on to. But now we're in a different age, and some of these values, there's a question as to how practical are they, some of these norms. So we get a lot of fight from some of the older folks as to what the younger folks are doing. And I think that negativity, in a sense, or the unwillingness to try and understand the time and the era we're in, how I look at it, I think it is filtering in and feeding into the negative behaviors that I shouldn't. I think it partly influences the negative behaviors that we see keep being recycled over and over and over. To me, I don't view negativity as a new phenomenon, as a new thing.
Meaning
But-
how we view the opposite sex.
Yeah, how we view the opposite sex, how we view relationships, how we view a lot of things as a whole. I see it as a recycle of what was probably there before. Just like we talk about the different videos that come up with school children and violence and all these different things.
Mhm.
It's not that they were not there, no. It
It's
was
now
always there.
publicized.
It's just now we have the avenue of putting it out there.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking that the negativity that we see people post about relationships, it's not that there was something new, right? I think it has been there before, but
Mhm.
now we have an avenue to put it out there in a large way. And then when you don't have the proper guidance and you don't have the cooperation from a lot of the older folk, and yes, it might sound like I'm calling out older folk, right? It is what it is. Yes, I'm calling you guys out because really and truly, and I put myself in there because I see myself as someone in the middle. We have to teach the younger ones, and if we're not teaching them, what do you expect them to learn? So I think that if the older folk continue to be negative towards the younger generations, that negativity will continue to breed and grow. It will have a snowballing effect. So that's how I look at it. What we see now is that snowballing effect of what was already started from how long ago, right? So when you see the younger folks breaking some of the traditions, breaking some of the norms, or trying to establish new ways of doing things and how they go about forming relationships. For example, my wife, when we got together, she DM me, she direct message me, put that in some of the older context of what the older folks would have believed in, that would have been a huge no-no. That would have been a turn-off. That would have been seen as come with all kind of different phrases to describe as to how it may have been viewed by some of the older folks.
I'm being too forward.
You know?
I'm being desperate.
All these different things. And
too aggressive as a woman.
yeah,
Clear signs that I would have problems submitting.
all kind of different things. And the whole thing is, what I'm saying is today, because that act should have done that act doesn't mean or define that she's any of those negative phrases. No, it doesn't.
So, just this quick disclaimer as we continue is that we know that this is not all older folks, that we have supportive. And by supportive, I think this generation means being present, being truthful and gracious with the truth as well. We know that there's not all the old people who have abandoned young people. So we just want to say thanks to those who are present with us and, you know, learning with us and journeying with us. Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks for that, Rosie.
Yeah.
Right? Because I wouldn't want people thinking I'm
generalizing,
or hating on
all the older
on all
people.
the generations before.
Because we got a lot of support from the older folks.
Yes, we still do get support.
Yeah.
Right? But the point I'm trying to establish is that that the negativity started somewhere and it continues, and it's a snowballing effect, and it needs to be dealt with. It needs to, I want to say, come to a stop, but I say how it should come to a stop, I don't have that answer.
Yeah.
But we can only try to do what we can.
So I will finish it.
And we have to come to realization that hey, time's changing, and the generations coming up will find new, unconventional, a lot of the time weird ways of doing things. I mean, I have an 18-year-old brother and I have conversations with him, and a lot of the times he make me raise my eyebrows, you know. And the thing is, I have to understand that hey, this is how this set communicates, this is how they relate.
So,
you know?
for example, like Dad was telling me the other day, this idea of women getting upset when guys don't respond to texts. And, you know, like some guys would wake up in the middle of the night and get 51 messages ending with, bye, have a nice life. Because, you know, they fell asleep. And he was saying that, you know, simple things like going on a date was a lot of faith back in their days, because all you had was the payphone. Not everybody had a house phone. And if you arranged to meet somebody, you kind of had to hope that they show up at the same time.
Yeah.
If you didn't organize everything down to the letter before at your previous visit. If it's raining, well, that's a problem in itself, because if you arrange to meet, you know, by the traffic light or so, and it's raining and you can't go there, how are you going to know where the person is at? And it would be weeks sometimes before they communicate, and it would be letter writing, the occasional phone call, and if the person had a landline in their house. And so he was saying this whole idea of communication, the constant communication, it has caused relationships to rapidly develop, because in a shorter period of time you get access to intimate information about the person, right? And so those are things that we have to take into consideration, and even us older ones, when our young teens, you know, fall in love with a guy that they know for 2 weeks. The knowledge that you have in 2 weeks with a person in 2019 is different from 2 weeks in the year 2000 when we were only texting.
And then, this again, it comes back to why I would say the older generations have to teach the younger ones. Because for that same example you're talking about, right? We would now have to teach the younger folks, hey, keep your emotions in check. Because now that you have more access, more accessibility, more connectivity, more information, a shorter space of time, right? It's easy for you to get emotionally attached and wrapped up And you now have to work harder to keep your emotions in check, because at the end of the day, jump high, jump low, 2 weeks is not a really real time to really get to know somebody, despite all the information would be out there.
Shining bright, going hard, living big, like a star. Ain't trying to get it, already got it. And there ain't nothing no one can do about it. Trust me, living that best life. We living that best life. We living that best life. We living. Everybody talking about trying to hustle hard, but don't nobody wanna talk about God. Trying to get it in, we trying to win, but don't nobody seem to know where to begin. Well, I'ma tell you something, and I hope you listening. Life gets better when Jesus is